Gentlemen, you don't have enough talent to win on talent alone.
Hello and welcome to the Town of the podcast brought to you by The Wheel. I am your host, Adam Hess, and with me, as always, he's jet-lagged as fuck. It's Mike Regan. Mike, how you doing today?
I'm sad. I'm no longer in Chicago.
You're sad. Not. We have no way of knowing where you are. There was recently a sandwich board in your... Yeah, I'm having a nooner.
Oh, good for you.
There was recently a sandwich board in your background that could have told us all where you are, but you did, in fact, move it. So now we have no way of knowing.
I moved it last second. You helped me out for once. Instead of being like, I'm going to embarrass Mike, you actually helped me. That was nice.
Like a professional actor, I really have to hit my marks, because if I drift my head too far to this side, you just get, like, the sun in my background there.
Oh, yeah. What is that light behind you?
It's my halo light. It's just,
it's reflecting off something?
No.
No.
I just put up that light stand because it gives me some depth. It also completely blows out my walls because I have all white walls.
But yeah, I'll just dox myself. I'm gone from Chicago. I'm back in the 757, the old Chester Freak. And between me and you, don't let anybody else hear this. Sucks.
Come back out anytime, brother.
I'll be there, brother.
There's a place on my couch for you. You know, my cat can sleep on top of your head or whatever she did while I was gone.
I got a key to your place. I might just show up every once in a while and not tell you.
Yeah, there you go. Just hopefully I'm not porking.
No, but I'll probably show up at like in the middle of the night while you're asleep and just crawl into bed and spoon you.
Won't be any different than the random Chicago people who do that to me anyways, so I won't even notice. That's that friendly Midwest spirit, you know? You leave your door unlocked, the homeless come in, they spoon you in bed, keep you warm in those Chicago winters.
Make you eggs in the morning. So you're not even mad.
They rip all the copper out of your walls and sell them for drugs.
Do you even need copper? Do you need copper? You know
only the one that arrested Al Capone. That's the only copper we need.
Well, I mean, there's all this extra copper now because we're not making pennies, so don't worry about it.
Are pennies made out of copper? Or are they like, you know?
Well, I think like in the latter years they were like a very small percent copper to give them the color, and then they were mostly just like recycled Coke cans or something.
Yeah, I've always loved the fact that nickel is a more prevalent and thus for cheaper metal than copper. Yet, for us as Americans, the nickel is worth 5 times as much as the copper penny.
Yeah. It's weird.
So what are we doing? If I was a homeless person, I would simply collect pennies, melt them down, turn them into copper pipes, then go sell those somewhere. I assume the copper pipes are what is doing the most the heavy lifting there, right? People don't want raw copper.
Usually homeless people, or not just homeless, also people who partake in the crack.
Drug addicts of all kind.
Yeah, and other things. They will go into houses and break into them walls and strip all the copper wiring and shit out to go take it to the scrap mill. Which, by the way, I know that it's bad because like it's theft and whatnot. But I mean, if we're keeping it a buck, you know, good for them. That's work ethic right there to get that high.
If you told me to make rent, I had to break down the drywall of my apartment and rip copper wire out of it, I would not be doing that.
Yeah. You would be doing it. Right, exactly.
But Mike, we are not a rare earth metals podcast. We are not a common earth metals podcast. We are not a rare Neptune metals podcast. If Neptune has any metals, haven't really looked into it. Not a Neptune guy, personally. We are, in fact, a football podcast. Brought to you by the same people who brought you nothing at all over the last week because I was out of town.
Yeah. He was in Paris.
I was in Paris, or Milan. But, Mike, we got some news, some breaking news we have to get to. We got to talk about the news. Hey, can I bitch for one quick second here?
Yeah, bitch is what you want.
How is it in the year of our Lord, 2026, Google Docs still doesn't have a dark mode?
I know everything else, like the Google Chrome browser itself has a dark mode.
Yeah.
Yet Google Docs, they just can't figure it out. It's disgusting.
Even there's even a dark mode for the Google Docs app.
Yeah.
On your phone. I have mine in dark mode.
Yeah. I have everything in dark mode.
We got some news to discuss here. Some news. the news. For beginners, Mike. Dexter Lawrence. 28-year-old interior defensive line wonder kid. Probably the best interior defensive line player since Aaron Donald.
Not at all on Aaron Donald's level, but
not on Aaron Donald's level.
That's funny you say that,
one of the
'cause,
better ones in the NFL.
In my head, I was like, he's 33. He's like 28.
Yeah, he's a 28. Traded to the Cincinnati Bengals for the 10th overall pick in the upcoming NFL draft. The Bengals then turned around and signed him to a record-breaking 1-year, $28 million extension.
Fully guaranteed, or
what? I have no idea. Probably fully guaranteed, right? I know a lot of it was a signing bonus. Mike. That's what I have for you. One
of those signing bonuses, as they say.
Mike, who won this trade? What do you think of this trade? How does this affect Shamar Stewart's stock?
Well, that's funny. He kind of like ties in to the Bengals making this trade, right? Because I think there's like strong arguments for both ways that they won and or they lost it, whatever side you're on. Like, they gave up the 10th overall pick. But you can say, hey, they gave up the mystery box of how will this rookie work out for a guy with proven production. And even last year, where I think he had like a little bit of a down year overall, he didn't register a single sack last year, which is not great. I mean, he did well getting pressure, but didn't register a single sack. But still, based on past years, like there is production there, and let's go for it. So I can get that. I do think it was their GM, whose name escapes me. I'm going to guess it's Jeff Bengal. Trying to make people forget that their last draft was terrible. The same way I just said that they traded a draft pick for proven production. Last year, they drafted potential overproduction, and it didn't work out in Shamar Stewart. He not only did he have a terrible season, it also made them have to deal with the off-the-field drama with the contract holdout. So I feel like it's them trying to make up for that, even though, like Shamar is an outside guy, if I'm correct. I am correct. And Dexter is a nose tackle.
Yeah, why are you looking for my approval on that? You know more about Shamar Stewart than I do because he at least played in college sometimes.
The only thing you know about Shamar Stewart is that he did not have very many sacks in college, and you hated him. And I have to be honest with you, good on the haters.
I actually know one other thing, is that he had even less sacks in the NFL. So
there you go. So I understand it. I do think it is funny. They signed him to that contract. I mean, it was only 1 year, but still, it is a little funny to be like every offseason, I feel like the Bengals make moves, and we're always like, you going to work on that offensive line, or... and they refuse to, and it's even... I was going to say, it's even funnier when you consider that they have an owner who kind of has a track record of not being as willing to crack open the paycheck or the checkbook, and they're also, even with that, they're still not in a great cap situation after getting the Chase Brown and T. Higgins deals done.
Chase Brown and T. Higgins is what you meant, right? Wait, Chase Brown.
Jamar Chase and T. Higgins.
Okay. I was so confused. I'm like,
is Chase Brown a person? Oh, he's Chase Brown's the running back. My bad.
Yeah. So just to close the loop, the Bengals do not have a GM. The closest thing they have is their director of player personnel, who's the de facto general manager. And that guy's name, Mike? Duke Tobin.
Oh, that's right. Duke Tobin. If the Bengals miss the playoffs this year, he might be out of a job.
Not if he's under contract for more than 1 year, in which case Mike Brown will continue to pay him to sit there and not.
He doesn't want to pay a dude who's not working. That's true.
I will say, I feel like the Bengals have done a lot this offseason to improve their team, including actually spending money on offensive line. We'll see what they do in the draft before I'm willing to declare them potential winners of the AFC North.
Who on their on their depth chart, who's listed as starting at offensive line, who was a free agent acquisition? Because if I wanted to be a good podcaster, I would have looked that up beforehand, but I didn't.
So they already had Orlando Brown and Amarius Mims. I believe Dalton Reisner is new to the team, but I am double checking that. Forgot I have an ad blocker on for exactly one website. Exactly one website.
Which website is that?
That would be SpotTrack, which is unusable if you do not have an ad blocker on.
They don't like that. They don't like that.
But the other websites sometimes will just assault me with their turn off your ad blocker stuff. And when I just pulled up our lads, it attacked me right in the face.
Dude, our lad's one of those sites where if I try to pull it up during the podcast, my laptop is like, nope, not happening. Way too much shit going on. You are right though. He obviously. He was.
He signed last year.
They brought him in last season.
Yeah, Dalton Reisner and their center. They both brought him last year. So in the last 2 years, they've spent money on their line, as well as drafting last year with Amarius Mims.
Right. Did you ask just about how the Bengals did, or did you also ask about the Giants?
I did, but you can talk about them for a while. I'll just go hang out somewhere else.
Now, I'm just gonna say I think the Giants. I know, I saw one person who once, because the initial report was, Cincy trades for Dexter Lawrence, for something that includes the 10th overall pick, and a little bit later it was like, no, it just includes the 10th overall pick.
Yeah.
And some people were like, what? Just the 10th? And I was like, they had met a complete impasse with Dexter Lawrence. They had to move him. They had no choice. And they got the 10th overall pick in the draft while also having the 4th. That's actually, I'm shocked I'm saying this because I can't believe he still has a job. But that was actually a good job by Joe Schoen.
Listen, a blind squirrel is right twice a day.
Right. He found a nut for once in his life.
This guy had your favorite draft last year. You're like,
no, he didn't.
Fucking finally he does something.
No, my favorite draft class were the Cardinals, who were team talent alone, and it went. We'll just say that it went.
So whoever you declare had the best draft after Thursday, we're just going to short him?
Yeah. And it gives the Giants one, they're not in a position to be like, oh, we gotta rebuild real quick and we're gonna contend for Super Bowl. No, their ceiling this year, best case scenario is come the last 3 weeks of the season, we're competing for a wild card spot. If they're in that position, certified win and improvement. Because they did throughout part of last year, they did have a bit of a swagger when Dart took over, Cam Scatabo, whatnot, but as the year went on, it was just injuries. Malik Neighbors goes down. Scatabo goes down. Dart keeps going head first and getting concussions.
He launches himself like a lawn dart, man. He's got to stop that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he just planks midair into defenders. As it happens, they obviously lost their swagger and were a terrible team. But so that's their best case scenario is late in the season they're competing for a wild card spot. So what they should want to do really realistically is say, hey, let's get young and cheap and build a team. And having the 10th and 4th pick, they could spend both of them. I think it also gets them in a couple good positions. It gets them in a position where they could say, you know what, we made the 4th, and on the 10th we're going to trade back because there's a guy we like who's still going to be there, and we're going to get way more draft capital.
Okay,
or
we're fancy booking too much. We're fancy booking too much the Giants draft.
We're fancy booking?
Yeah,
let me just make this last point, and it will take 10 seconds. Mm-hmm. Or it opens a door where at 4 there could be a player where, based on how the draft's going, they're going to be like, that guy's not going to be there at 10, but we really want him, and we still have 10, so we'll go ahead and take that player now. It just opens a lot of doors for them. So I think the Giants did really well. I think Cincinnati has it's a high risk, high reward move. I'll leave it at that.
I just think they can finally get a pass rusher with that pick.
Who, the Bengals could have?
No, the Giants. Giants can finally get a pass rusher.
They have Kayvon Thibodeau and Abdul Carter.
And Abdul Carter was a great pass rusher.
He was so good in his rookie year, and people just totally disrespected him because he didn't have 25 sacks. They were like, what a dog shit person.
Way to take the first
Ridiculous.
overall player off the board, and he's fucking mid as shit. Good job,
All
Giants.
right, whatever.
While we're
To the
talking,
next news item, Adam.
while we're talking in the NFC East, Brendan Aubrey, the highest paid kicker in the league. Mike, how does this affect your Graham Gano stock?
Not good.
Not good.
Not
Not
good.
good for Graham Gano.
Not good.
They paid him
the,
a $7 million per year extension, including $20 million guaranteed. Signing bonus $8.25 million. It's a lot of money to be able to kick a football far.
I mean, I still have so much of my stock put into Dan the Carlson kicking man, so it's tough.
Do you know who currently has the largest guarantee at kicker in the NFL, who is just surpassed by Sir Brendan Aubrey?
I honestly have no idea. Is it the Money Badger?
Is Harrison Butker. Harrison Butker at $17.75 million guaranteed.
Wait, is he the one who said his wife should stay in the kitchen and make him sandwiches and do his laundry?
That's fucking stupid, Mike. He said everyone's wife should stay in the kitchen.
Okay, that's right. I'm sorry.
Do you think that there's a future where the Cowboys have 6 players, no one else on the staff, but all the players are getting paid $80 million a year?
Yeah, there's a future.
They have Pickens
think
playing
actually
the
the
franchise
news-
tag. CeeDee Lamb's the 4th highest paid receiver
Yeah.
in the league. Tyler Smith was the highest paid interior offensive lineman until Tyler Linderbaum signed his deal this offseason. Dak Prescott's making a 4-year, 60 on average million guaranteed contract.
Well,
And they have one of the highest paid cornerbacks in the league in Deron Bland, and now they're paying Aubrey more than any other kicker.
Deron Bland contract's going to age so poorly. And also, you just missed the news. They actually just restructured Dak Prescott's contract once again, so he's going to be owed $4.5 billion next year.
What's the who's the Mets player that everyone's like, oh my God, today's the day, he's getting paid again or whatever?
Don't ask me baseball. Don't
That
ask me to
guy's,
do that to me.
that's gonna be Dak Prescott. Like they're gonna keep restructuring his contract until he's getting paid in like 2045, when
Yeah.
Robo Jerry Jones is running for president of the world.
And probably winning, sadly.
Mike, continuing on with our news items, the 49ers agree to a restructuring of Trent Williams' contract that includes a 2-year, $50 million extension that will probably lead to Trent Williams retiring as a 49er.
For sure.
Williams gets $37 million fully guaranteed, including a $22 million signing bonus. This makes him the first non-quarterback to surpass $400 million in career earnings. Mike, do you know how much $400 million is?
It's a lot, and I also know that you guys traded him to the Niners for a 3rd and a 5th. You guys being your favorite team, the Washington Commanders.
But how many of those 3rds and 5ths did we use on future Hall of Famers?
God, I'm going to say at least 6 future Hall of Famers in those 3rd and 5th.
That would
This
be a
is,
conservative estimate.
Yeah, this move is just, I mean, it just makes sense. Like, Trent Williams, no matter, he keeps inching towards 40, and he's like, yeah, I'm still a dude.
I would
so it makes sense
argue he
because-
was one of the top 5 left tackles in the league last year.
Oh, absolutely. I agree with that. And he and the Niners in general are in what it's obvious they believe this based on their moves, and they feel like they're in a window to where we have to, load up to go for a championship. Shit, they have to load up just to win the division they're sitting in with the Seahawks and the Rams. Like, they can't just sit there with their thumb up their asses. That's why they paid Mike Evans, etc. And so we're locking out Trent Williams, and I'm sure once he's done, he'll retire, and we'll see if they. I mean, I think that division, the NFC West, is going to be such a battle all season next year, and the Niners have a shot to win it if they can just stay healthy.
I think
That's
it's
the
going to be really
big
funny
thing.
when the Seahawks win it by 4 games.
Yeah. Okay.
And final news item that we had to talk about here, Mike. Adam Schefter of tweeting out whatever your agents text him fame reported today that A.J. Brown to the Patriots is basically a done deal. However, it won't take place till after the June 1st league year deadline.
I've heard that June 1st thing mentioned, like before that report. What is the big deal about the June 1st thing? Does it
I don't know,
affect
man.
the dead cap?
It's just
for the
something in
Eagles
CBA.
or
maybe,
what?
Maybe it's
Okay.
something to do with how the contracts are structured, where the important dates are the start of the year, which is when we get free agency, and then June 1st. I don't know why.
Okay.
Those are just the important dates.
That's
all I got for you,
like
brother.
on a grand scale, what'd you say?
That's all I got for you, brother.
Oh yeah. On a grand scale, I do think it points out, like, I think it is interesting because it will be post-draft. So it's like, all right, the Patriots' first-round pick at number 31 is not included in this. So it'll be interesting to see what the return is if it happens. 2, I mean, Christian Benford versus A.J. Brown next year? 2 times a year? Oh, my God.
I'm just happy that I don't have to deal with A.J. Brown against whoever we're claiming is a cornerback 1 in Washington anymore.
Yeah, the trade would be funny because it would make you happy and hurt me because I have to face him twice. My team has to face him twice a year now.
Yeah, A.J. Brown's always feasted against Washington, so long and have a great career over there. You have a lot of cause to hate the Patriots wide receiver room these days.
Why?
Well, Stephon Diggs.
He's gone.
You know that. You don't re-sign him.
No one's re-signed him.
Yeah, but maybe
He's
maybe
sharing pink stuff on a boat with Cardi B and punching his personal chef.
What an off season for that guy.
Oh, I'm sorry. And rehabbing his torn ACL. I apologize.
There you go. Yeah. What's the return going to be? I mean, it's Philly, so like my inclination is to say like maybe some like mid-round picks that they'll have a good pick on, but then like maybe like an undervalued asset. Like what if they just grab Will Campbell in this trade?
That would be wild. If they just got the left tackle that the Patriots took the number 4th overall the previous year. I don't think that's happening. Also because they already have one of the best left tackles in the league in Mailata, so they're probably not really worried about it.
And here's the thing: Jeff Stoutland also left because him and Nick Sirianni fucking hate each other. So that offensive line is not going to be good next year. Jordan Mailata, part of the reason he's good is because of Jeff Stoutland. Same thing with Kelsey and when they rehabbed Mekhi Becton. So I don't know if trading a trade based on getting an offensive line would be a great move for them now.
Yeah, I mean, I'd guess it would be. I have no idea what player on the Patriots could possibly be involved. So I mean, it's probably going to be pick heavy. I'd have to imagine. But it's a deal. It'll be interesting to see. It'd be kind of similar to like the Dexter Lawrence trade. What that return is will probably tell us how much Howie Roseman's back was against the wall to be like, A.J. Brown doesn't want to be here and I just got to take whatever I can get, you know?
Nick Sirianni's got to be done after this year, right?
Not after this year. I mean, they won a Super Bowl. They made the playoffs last year. I think it would be shock. I'd be shocked if they make the playoffs again and he gets. I mean, I feel like they'd have to have like a terrible like 2, 3, 4, stopping it there, not going to 5 win season for them to actually cut bait on Sirianni, despite the fact that he's the Pander King.
Okay, but like they shipped Doug Peterson's ass out to pasture a few years after he won a Super Bowl. They shipped Andy Reid's ass out to pasture after he made the playoffs every year.
Every year. Went to multiple NFC championship games. Made the one Super Bowl, which they would have won if Donovan McNabb would have got off his fat ass while T.O. was playing on an ankle with screws in it. But I'm not going to get into that. Yeah, but I mean, Doug Peterson, they were like, hey, we realize it now. It was all Nick Foles. It had nothing to do with him. It was all Nick Foles. Nick Foles and the Philly special, baby. That was all it was.
And who designed the Philly special?
Not Doug Peterson. It was, I have no idea what their offensive coordinator was then. Why are you asking me?
Really? You don't remember this off the top of your head? What if
Yeah,
I told
do you?
you that he has been the head coach for 2 NFL teams after this, and they both flopped painfully?
Flopped as in, like, got in the playoffs and shit their pants, or, like, didn't make the playoffs?
Didn't make the playoffs. He's a guy I believed in. I believe he coached Indy and Carolina.
Ooh.
He may have replaced a certain guy who had the Indianapolis job.
Was it Richt?
Yeah, Frank Reich.
Frank Reich. The man who played quarterback in the greatest comeback in playoff history of all time, Bills against the Oilers. Suck it, Warren Moon.
He played quarterback for the Sabres win over Boston yesterday? I didn't realize that.
I meant the Bills Let's move on to the next news item or whatever, because now you've embarrassed me.
Zachariah Branch.
What
See
about
the Zachariah Branch news?
I didn't. I saw the Ruben Bay news, but not the Zachariah Branch news.
Did Ruben Bain's arms get shorter?
No, no. I'll let you Google it.
Zachariah Branch arrested in Athens, Georgia for 2 possible misdemeanor charges.
Oh my God, was he fucking speeding? Was he fucking speeding, Adam?
Branch is facing misdemeanor charges of obstructing public sidewalks / streets prowling and obstruction of law enforcement officers. He was booked at 1:26 a.m. and released at 3:44 a.m. by the Athens Clark County Police Department.
Mike,
I don't. Would you care to guess what his bail was placed at for those 2 misdemeanor charges?
$5,000.
$39. Zachariah Branch posted a $39. Why even have him post bail at that point? It's $39. You can't even buy a fucking video game for that much.
They're like, yeah, we're gonna stick it to him. He's never getting out of here. Ah, fuck, he has $39 on him.
Zachariah Branch is part of a crowd that was outside of a bar that closed. That's why he got arrested.
So whether he was walking or on a motor scooter or on a little motorbike, like, it had something to do with being on the road or the sidewalk. So why can't Georgia figure this the fuck out? If it has wheels, keep your players off of it. Get him a goddamn Uber. Jesus.
Georgia's just gonna start hiring like private helicopters to get everyone anywhere. They're gonna be like, "Yeah, we're just going to the store. It's less than a mile down the road." And they're gonna be like, "You're walking or taking the helicopter."
I just don't get it. I don't. It is the weirdest thing.
Let me see. Yeah, I don't see any Ruben Bay news.
You don't about him being a part of that? People finding out he was part of like a car accident kind of thing that may have killed a guy.
Oh wow, yeah. This is buried under so much other draft news. Man, we're really doing well in America.
You found it though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
In 2024.
Yep.
Jesus.
Which have resulted in the death of a passenger, Destiny Belts. 3 months later, the incident occurring on 95 led to a dropped careless driving charge. Yeah. So he's dealing with that going into the draft. So I guess this is
okay, but
it
doesn't seem like he's dealing with it at all. It seems like no one cares. That's outrageous.
No one cares. Well, I mean, I saw the news. Like, it popped up in my things, my Twitter feed, I ring so many bells. I heard about it, all my notifications. So I knew about it. I mean, it was back in 2024. I have this probably partially naive mindset of like, hey, kids get into college and they're treated like gods because they're a great football player, and also with NIL now they have a like good amount of money and they do stupid things, and I believe people can change. So if he was driving like an asshole and that happened, that's terrible. He has to live with that. He has to make amends with that. But I don't think it should affect his draft stock. You know?
I mean,
am I crazy in saying that? I mean, I don't know. I've seen him. I've seen some mock drafts today where he's going like outside of the top 10.
Yeah, but I don't think that's anything to do with. I think that's the way it was already headed in mock drafts. Like, I don't think that has anything to do with this news.
Because he has T-Rex arms. Everybody was done with him. Everybody like turned off their projectors with all of his amazing tape on it, and they were like, short arms.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening.
Pick.
We are double counting
Fucking
two
stupid.
players so much in this draft. First off, we knew Ruben Bain had short arms. You can see it when you look at him stand there, and it's like he can't even scratch his own chest.
Right. If you were a draft scout watching tape on him back in September, you watched like the games, you saw his arms. How is this a surprise?
The other player we are double counting this on is Sonny Styles, who was like a fringe top 15 pick, and then at the combine was like, wow, he's athletic. And it's like, didn't we already know this? Didn't we already know Sonny Styles was athletic?
Yeah.
Anyways,
we knew.
Hey,
knew.
Don't drive at over 100 miles per hour at 4 a.m. How about that?
Oh, is that more of the details on what happened?
Yeah.
Jesus.
But hey, you just some things you have to accept, right? We're never going to get a good quarterback out of Alabama again. Wide receiver U has moved from LSU to Ohio State.
I mean, you're going to have to
And
cut
if you
this,
draft someone
but
from Georgia, they're going to put the pedal to the metal and kill someone.
you're going to have to cut this. But Ray Lewis killed a guy, and he's in the Hall of Fame, so.
Why am I going to have to cut
Just
that?
saying. Ever have to cut that?
No, we don't have to cut that.
Allegedly.
I don't fucking care.
Allegedly killed a guy. Allegedly.
I say Ray Lewis killed 2 guys. Fuck him.
I think Ray Lewis actually punched Ray Rice's girlfriend. I think that's what happened.
I can't believe Ray Lewis assassinated JFK.
Yeah. Well, but he has that cool dance, so no one cared.
Yeah, he has that cool dance, and he won 2 Super Bowls, and he did, halftime shows for Amazon or whatever.
Yeah.
Same reason that
He
we
won
let
2
that
Super Bowls.
piece of shit Udonis Haslam keep going around.
He won 2 Super Bowls, and Nas was the only one who congratulated him. Can you believe that?
You know, Udonis Haslam might be the most attractive man on the face of the planet, and every time I see him, it makes me angry.
You think Udonis Haslam is attractive?
Look up Udonis Haslam. That guy is good looking.
Former player coach of the Miami Heat?
Yeah. He is a good looking dude. Mike is trying to figure out how to spell Udonis right now.
Oh, he does have like that. He has like that unkness, right? You know?
I don't think we can say that.
I
Just
think
because
I
we're
don't know.
too old.
Yeah, too old, too white, maybe. But I can see it. I can see girls going for that. I understand it now.
He's a good looking dude. You should watch him on the Amazon halftime show.
Will do.
Anyways, Mike, we got a few weeks ago. We did our buying stock in players. Basically, people were planting our flag in, who we were high on in this NFL draft, the 2026 NFL draft. Today, we're going to do a protracted version of the opposite. We're going to sell short. We're going to sell short with Sean Connery. If you guys don't know what selling short is, it is when Adam McKay makes a movie with Christian Bale and Steve Carell and Ryan Gosling.
I was so ready to come in with references about The Big Short, and you beat me to it.
About the 2008 financial crisis. Now, selling short is when you take a stock and you make a deal with someone who currently owns shares of that stock that you
Say it's gonna
will
fail.
You will buy a stock from them at a certain price and later sell it back to them at that same price. It is basically a bet that in the meantime, that stock is going to go down and you are going to gain more money. So, what we're going to do here, Mike, is we're going to do the big short. We're going to short some stocks. And those stocks are players. We're going to come in here and tell you what players we're out on. We're going to buy against those positions right now. We're going to say that we're going to make a contract with anyone who wants these players that at a later date, we are going to sell them to you at the price that they are worth right now.
And this is the players in the draft, right? I didn't fuck this segment up.
Yes, players in the draft. Everything's draft-based for this podcast and the next one, as well as our live stream on Thursday on Talent Alone Podcast
All
at
draft,
gmail.com.
baby.
Wait, why did I say our email? At Talent Alone Podcast on YouTube, we'll be doing a live watch-along and drink-along with round 1 of the NFL Draft, where Mike and I are both going to submit mock drafts ahead of time, and any time that one of us is right and one of us is wrong on a pick, the person who is wrong has to take a shot.
Of pure gasoline, baby. Pure
Gasoline.
gasoline. That's expensive right now because that goddamn straight.
Yeah, it might be cheaper just to take shots of alcohol at this point.
It might be. We'll do that. Good point.
So, Mike, let's get into this. We're just going to have 3 players that we're shorting. Do you want to kick or receive?
Receive.
All right, you may go first then.
No, you go first.
That's not how receiving works. The receiving team is on offense first.
That was the first time you got me on that in a minute.
Yeah, you usually go, I'll go first, or you go first.
Yeah, this past year I usually smartened up on it. I was like, go first, you asshole. But you're right.
You want me to go first?
You go first, Sam.
All right.
Yeah.
You're gonna wish you had gone first.
Okay.
Last chance, Mike.
No, go first.
All right, Mike. One of the 3 players I am shorting is the entire QB class. I'm shorting all of them. I'm out. Out on every single one of them. You ready? Mendoza. He's Kirk Cousins at the first overall pick. Get out of here. Ty Simpson. He has only 15 starts, and 7 of them were good. Nussbus. Small. Drew Aller. Inaccurate. 2 forward with women. Carson Beck. Old and bad. I'm out. I'm out on all of them. I'm shorting every one of them. Get him out of here.
You forgot to mention that Nussmeier, the news came out today that the reason for his injury this season was that he has a cyst on his spine.
Oh, he's got a spine cyst.
He has spine cyst. They say that there's going to be no like short-term or long-term repercussions of it. He's healthy, but still, when I hear cyst on blank, I'm like, maybe I'll pick someone else.
So I'm shorting the whole QB class, Mike. Every one of them.
I don't hate that, honestly. I think I do. I believe in Ty Simpson, but I mean, I think I also said when I like talked him up that like, okay, worst case scenario, he's going to be like a career-long backup, and like that is still very good.
Here's the
but
problem
I'm
with Ty
not going to go. What?
Here's the problem with Ty Simpson.
Yeah.
He's got a weak intestine, and that simply cannot be trusted.
Can't be trusted.
Can't be trusted. I trust no one with a weak intestine. That's why I've been out on Brock Lesnar, and for no other reason.
Yeah, you know, like I'm a huge Nuss Bus guy. The injuries actually usually I was a big Michael Penix guy, so I was like, I don't care that he tore his knees 7 times in college. I believe in him. Nuss Bus, it does concern me. And after that, you know, it's kind of like Mendoza. I love Mendoza. I was big on the Hoosiers. Like, what I don't even know. Mendoza would have been like maybe fighting with Cam Ward for the top QB last year. And then for like multiple years past last year, he would not have been the first QB off the board. And I love Mendoza. But like we all need to stop and be honest with ourselves. Okay?
But here's like the thing with Mendoza is they're like, oh yeah, he's a competent, professional, high IQ, high effort guy. Yes, he doesn't have special arm strength. He doesn't have special athleticism. He doesn't have special accuracy. Just a good, solid, high IQ, work ethic quarterback. And I'm like,
he's good. Wait, he does have good accuracy.
What's his turnover worthy play rate? Well, Mike looks that up.
As I looking.
It sounds to me like people are describing Kirk Cousins. And the thing that makes Kirk Cousins spectacular is Kirk Cousins' ability to get the bag, despite the fact that he has not ever been a top 10 quarterback in the league. I mean, Kirk Cousins' value also comes. He was drafted in the 3rd round.
Yeah. All right, Mendoza this past season, 71.5% accuracy, so that does. And then 12 turnover-worthy plays to 23 big-time throws. You know?
So, yeah, like, not special, but good.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can also take out your needle and poke the balloon to poke holes in it to be like, dude, he had a good defense, great running game. I think I mentioned on a previous podcast that he had, like, 2 games where he had to – like he actually threw the ball over 30 times, you know. So there's a lot of holes you can poke. I've seen so many people like pundits on TV and whatnot just go like 10 toes down, full chest, Mendoza. And I'm like, dude, I love Mendoza. I could see it working, but I'm not going like Andrew Luck. There's no way this goes wrong levels. There's a way it goes wrong.
Yeah.
We all need to settle down. Let's settle down.
You want to defend any other QBs I called out, Drew Aller or Carson Beck?
No, I don't. I'm so down on Carson Beck. I have been for 2 years. So.
Well, you see, Mike, the problem with Carson Beck is he is both old and bad. So it's really like a double whammy of how he's not going to be a very good quarterback in the NFL.
And looks like Sloth from Ice Age. He's got to deal with that. So that's tough. Yeah. And Drew Aller, his entire college career was the dude who had all the tools and could not put them all together. Mm-hmm. And if you think the guy who had all the tools and could put them all together, all of a sudden is going to be put them all together at a level where he faces higher competition, you're betting against the spread there, brother.
Right, so, everyone enjoy your Alex Smith-ass #1 overall pick. I'm out on the whole class. Mike, who are you shorting?
Okay, that was kind of disrespectful, Alex Smith, and what he did.
What he did
in his last couple years. His last year as an like Niner, and then like his first couple of years at Kansas City was pretty good.
You're right. If somehow Clint Kubiak is one of the 3 best coaches in the NFL over a 15-year spread, I'll start believing in Fernando Mendoza's chances.
He snapped his leg into 27 pieces and almost died of 45 blood clots.
That's great. I could go do that right now outside if I wanted to. I don't need a quarterback who can do shit that I can do.
That's true. All right.
Mike left. Mike's gone away.
My pick.
Yep. It's not really picks. It's more just shorting,
All right, the stock I'm shorting.
Yeah. Is there like a guy right off camera aiming a gun at you?
No, I just I got to get ready for this because people are probably going to come after me in the comments.
Uh-huh.
They're going to come after me.
Is that Tiny Malort? You got Tiny Malort there?
Tiny Buffalo Trace.
Uh.
David Bailey.
Oh, you and I are similar ground here. I picked someone else, but I like the synergy we got going here.
Yeah, missed me on it. Especially with him being mocked somewhere in the top 10. Yeah, there's a lot there to like. Great production. He is in the NFL. He projects he's going to be strictly a stand-up edge rusher. I mean, he'll be listed on depth charts at outside linebacker. That's because the NFL hasn't smartened up and made edge a position yet on their depth charts, which is fucking stupid. But still, that's what he's going to be. And at 6'3", 250, there are concerns. There are concerns about, and the funny thing is about that 250, by the way, I forgot to mention this, is that Stanford had him listed at 238 before he transferred. He already did his bulking up. This is it. He's 250, brother. He ain't going to be 251. He ain't going to be 252. He's 250. And so he's extremely athletic. He has great speed, but I worry, like, how can you turn... There's a question of how can you turn that speed into power come the NFL when you're going up against Trent Williams, Mailata, these top tackles are going to cause you problems. He also, I'm concerned about how he can sometimes get caught off guard in zone schemes. And something he can do in those situations is he can get, because he's so athletic and he thinks, I'm going to just crash downfield and get this QB, he can get too aggressive. And I think, it's not, we see it all the time during the NFL season, that run play where the pass rusher just goes flying into the backfield and then the running back just like calmly steps by him because he's like just staring at the QB with blood in his eyes. I'm worried about that. And also, this is a smaller thing. At the combine, I don't care about 40s for most positions, probably all positions, but he was 52%. He was the 52nd percentile in his 10-yard dash. I do care about 10-yard dash because you're a pass rusher and you're trying to get to the quarterback, who's probably roughly 5 to 10 yards away. And so I have concerns about him, and so I just can't buy into him being a surefire top 10 pick that's going to destroy it. Like, even when you look at other guys who've come out of the draft recently, who have been that just basic outside linebacker, stand-up, edge rusher, gun your nose back, have been successful. Like, look at Jared Verse. Jared Verse is 260. And I know people are probably sitting there going, 250, 260? Who cares? We're talking about the NFL. We're talking about a collision sport where you're about to go run into a 330 to 50-pound tackle. 10 pounds makes a difference. Now, whether you can keep your leverage and attack him, or if your only way of winning is to hit him with the move and get outside of him. And if that's your only way, brother, it ain't going to work.
What if I told you that he's almost the same size as Chop Robinson?
Yeah, that doesn't make me feel any better. Shout out Miami Dolphin, Chop Robertson. I was right? Miami Dolphin, Chop Robinson?
You were right that he's Miami Dolphin. You were wrong that his last name's Robertson.
I said Robinson, and also go Nittany Lions. We are
Fox Sports.
You're supposed to say Penn State.
Sure. Mike, while we're on this pass rusher class, I got a little guy that I wanted to bring up here to you that I'm shorting this talk.
I know who you're gonna say, and I'm all for it.
By a little guy, I mean a very big guy.
Oh, maybe I'm not for
Falk.
it. Hit me.
Keldrick.
I don't hate it.
I'm shorting my Keldrick Falk stock because you know what I like, Mike, in my my pass rushers? Production. I like production in my pass rushers. Keldrick Falk, not a lot of production. Not a lot of production in college. And, Mike, you know what they say? Not a lot of production in college only means you're going to do great in the NFL because it gets easier, right?
That's what everybody says.
That's what everyone says.
The only person who went from, like, not to, glaze my own man crush, but the only person who was, like, bad technique, not a lot of production in college, turned out to be an MVP was Josh Allen. He's a massive outlier.
I would say it's possible at like the thinking man's positions, right? Like we can see upticks in production from college to the pros, often at quarterback, tight end, and running back.
Mm-hmm.
I think those are kind of the cores where we see a lot of it, and some shout outs to like defensive back, depending on if they go to like a really good schemer, in your Mike McDonald style. Mm-hmm. Where you don't see it is edge rusher, because the entire thing with edge rusher is just technique and athleticism. You don't got to think. Edge rushers don't got to think. You don't have to consider and read and think about what's coming next. You just put your nose down, you wait for the ball to snap, and you go as fast as you can to the quarterback. And if you can't do that,
a swim move.
Yeah, you make a swim move. You do a little twirl, You kick the guy in the nuts. If you can't do that against the fucking Green Mountain State Hedgehogs, you probably aren't going to be able to do it against the Detroit Lions.
He didn't play the Green Mountain State Hedgehogs. How dare you?
Are you sure? They just want to goose the ratings a little bit,
I'm not arguing with you. I mean, 6'6", 285, you're like, oh, he can probably play inside. That's nice, a little versatility. But, I mean, you're right. The production isn't there. 2 sacks in his final year in college. Yeah. 2 sacks. 2 sacks.
And he only tested in the jumps, vertical and broad jump. Neither one he was spectacular in. So it's not like he has rare athleticism either.
Mm-mm.
Just saying, Maybe he'll be good against the run, which we all know Aaron Donald was terrible against, according to that one guy on Twitter.
I was going to say, and it's not like it was a situation where it was like, oh, he was the only good player on a terrible defense, so like offensive coordinators just keyed into him with their blocking. No, Auburn had a damn good defense this year. Their offense was utter dog shit, but their defense was good, and he got 2 sacks. So I don't know what you want me to tell you about that. I can't justify taking a guy in the first round who had 2 sacks in his final year in college. I am 100% with you on this one.
There you go. We are oot on Keldrick Falk and the quarterback class in general. Mike, you want to give me your next Big Short?
Yeah, and so this one might be a little bit this one's also a bit of a hot take, but TJ Parker, another edge out of Clemson.
Maybe we just don't like the edge class.
We do. I do. I just don't agree with how people are ranking them. 6'3", 260, so the size is solid, but still he's going to be that stand-up edge rusher. My beef with him is the decline in play from 2024 to 2025. Now, I've said in the past, going into the season, Clemson had all of these making a run in the playoffs, winning the ACC, national championship possibly, and they had these defensive players who were all mocked for sure to go in the first round, right? And then the season went sideways, and shit didn't go well. Now, I think Peter Woods and Avian Terrell personally impressed me and bounced back, like halfway through the season when things were in the gutter and the season was lost, they bounced back. TJ Parker really didn't. He never impressed me. And I said I don't know, it was probably during one podcast, I was like, those guys who were all mocked to be lock first-round picks, those were the dudes who should have been pulling that team up by their bootstraps and saying, we still got something to play for. I don't feel like TJ Parker did it. He went from 12 sacks to 6 sacks. His pressures dropped. So many things. And I know there's teams who are going to take him. There's a team who's going to take him in the first round. I saw him mocked to the Bills in one draft, and I pray to God that's not the case. Because of what he showed the previous year, and they're going to see potential over the production he had in his junior year in school. But I would be extremely concerned about that because there's a lot of great players who played on teams that didn't have team success in college, and they still cooked to prove their merit. And I don't got time for a guy who, when the season went down the pipes, went half speed the rest of the way. I ain't got time for it.
Now, does it affect your thought at all if I told you that he is a roommate with Peter Wood?
No.
Okay.
No, because Peter Wood got top bunk in that situation.
I don't know if I would feel comfortable with Peter Woods on a top bunk. I hope those bunks
Exactly.
are
He
reinforced.
said, "I'm taking top bunk." TJ, we're what? Let's see here. He had 2 sacks through 11 games of the season, and then got 4 against South Carolina's dog shit offensive line to get to 6. That motherfucker was sitting he was laying on the bottom bunk, praying it didn't break.
That's a better stat than most people are giving out. Like we need to keep hammering that he really had 2 sacks and then feasted against one team.
Yeah.
All right, Mike. My final short as we close out the segment here. Guy, we already
I only
talked
did
about
2,
this
but
podcast.
go for it.
Yeah, well, you have one more after me, bud.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Zachariah Branch. I'm shorting him. 2 reasons.
You hate this guy.
1, too small. 2, he's just a catalyst for misdemeanors. Blocking sidewalks. Stopping law enforcement from breaking up people who are blocking sidewalks. Having to scrounge together pocket change to get to $39 worth of bail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but at its core, I just simply don't want a very small wide receiver who is not that impressive.
There is so much of Branch that is like potential based on what was expected of him as a high school recruit, and then it was, USC didn't use him right. And they went to Georgia, and he had a solid year at Georgia, but nothing that jumped off the page. So I can understand this. I think your big thing is that you saw a mock draft like a month and a half ago that had him going to Washington, and you were like, "Fuck that."
5'9", 177.
No.
Last season had 811 yards and 6 touchdowns on 81 receptions.
I'm not gonna argue with you. I think best case scenario, you're gonna get a speedy gadget player as a wide receiver 3. Worst case scenario, you're probably getting a dude who's just taking punt and kickoff returns.
Yeah, and
if you take that in the second round, you messed up.
Yeah, I don't need to take a special teamer in the second round, even if he's a good special teamer.
Yeah. Yep, I agree.
Like all cowards, he did not do the 3 cone. So we'll never know how well he can backpedal.
And my opinions are legit, because going into the season, I was high on Zachariah Branch. I thought Georgia would use him better, and he would cook, and he would develop, and it like I said, he had an okay year, not what I expected from him.
Hey, do we need to talk about the fact that you love short players and where that comes from?
No.
Are you worried about this at all? You know?
No, that's not true. I get chubbed up for a 6'4", 225 guy. You know, I love it.
Know why we had to be graphic about it.
I'm just saying. We'll get more into that later. Not me getting chubbed up. More into some of the bigger guys in this draft or what people think are bigger. We'll get into it later. Don't worry about it.
We might get into it later. We're going a little bit long on time there, brother.
Oh, my bad. I'm sorry.
Why are you sorry?
Because I apologize too much. All right, back to you, Adam.
Now it's your turn. Who's your last guy?
My last guy is, and I've seen this dude getting mocked in a handful of drafts now in the first round. It's Chris Johnson, the cornerback out of San Diego State. I have my concerns based off a few things. One of which is he had a big jump in his last season, and you always got to be. I usually don't key in on that as much as some other people, but it's at least worth considering. And also, I think this is like such a fair thing to do with defensive backs that some people don't think about. It should just be like, hey, what's the toughest quarterback he faced? Out of curiosity.
We played
I'm
them
gonna
out
go through
west,
the season
so
real
I'm assuming no one that anyone's ever heard of.
So he played Stony Brook, Washington State, and then Cal, which obviously had breakout true freshman Jaron. Let me double check it. Jaron Kway Sagapo Latele, who I think is going to be great this year, but he was still a true freshman, and that game was at home. So not going to push that. Northern Illinois, Colorado State, Nevada, Fresno State. Watch out, Derek Carr's like third cousin or whatever, who's quarterbacking them. Wyoming,
third cousin was the quarterback of Notre Dame.
Who?
Derek Carr's third cousin.
No, he was not. They're not related, thank God. Boise State, they actually might be, I don't know. San Jose State, New Mexico. He didn't play a lot of great quarterbacks. That concerns me a little bit, along with the last year like notable jump in play. So I'm shorting that stock a little bit.
So I'm never that concerned with the last year play increase if it's someone who's like relatively young. So like when you get like a junior who's 20 who has the last year bump. I will say Chris Johnson, he's bordering on not being too old, 21.4 years old. Still, he is playing 18-year-olds who he's probably playing a little bit of press against.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have no strong Chris Johnson takes, and most of that's because if someone played at San Diego State, I'm not going to really care about them until they prove I should. That's all I got for you.
No respect for the Mountain West. You disgust me.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not in on any kind of maction.
That's not Maction. You're an asshole. I know you said
conference.
that just to make me angry.
Same conference.
It's not.
Couldn't tell you the difference between the two, Mike. Is there anyone else you want to throw out real quick that you're shorting, Mike?
Oh, no. I think those are big three. I had one that I was ready to short hard, and then I realized I could just use him for my most likely to be overdrafted in our next segment, so I saved him for that.
There you go. Well, let's get to our next segment. We got some pre-draft superlatives to hand out. For the sake of brevity, we'll try to spend, we'll kind of like try to Oscar speech this, you know, keep it under 2 minutes a category there, just to get through these real quick. But superlatives, they're the things they hand out in the yearbook back in the 1980s when we were all watching 16 Candles, where it's the best, or most likely, or least likely, or hair, or things like that. So we're going to go through just some quick categories here. Our categories are most likely to succeed, podcaster's favorite player, most underrated, least discussed position, and most likely to be overdrafted. So we're just going to go through those, give our final opinions here, and then like I said, on Thursday we will be doing a live stream at Talent Alone Podcast on YouTube, doing our draft watch-along, chatting, drinking, making rash decisions on 20-year-olds who have no choice about where they get to play.
Grown men in their 30s shit-talking guys in their early 20s. Who doesn't love it?
Hammering cheap liquor. With that, Mike, why don't you give me who you have as most likely to succeed?
This is a player or a team, by the way? Because I jotted it down both ways, but I wasn't sure.
However you feel in your heart. But only give out one of them. You don't get to give out both. You don't get to admit it and go, well, I had this for player, and let me tell you my team. Nope, you got to pick one and go with it.
So, this guy, his, I know, the tiny arms of Ruben Bain Jr. also, it made me doubt him for a second. And then I remembered, 2 weeks into the season being on this podcast at one point. I mean, it may have been 4 weeks because we did every 4 weeks or so on the tap throughout the NFL season. We did our top 10, and every week I was just so high on him. And I'm not going to change now. I don't care about your short arms. I don't care. Get arm extenders. There's plastic surgery for everything now. I think Ruben Bain, no matter where he goes, is going to cook. I honestly believe it. He is going to succeed. He is going to be defensive player of the year. Exactly.
He's going to be DPOY. He's not even going to be rookie.
Rookie DPOY. Thank you. I misspoke, but still, I feel confident. I feel like he has the tools to overcome his little tiny T-Rex arms that are only 2 inches long. I think he's going to be great. So I think he's my most likely to succeed from a player standpoint.
Well, there you go. My most likely to succeed, Mike. Caleb Downs. Come on, easy one here. Why are we even talking about it that much?
I have him coming up later, so I avoided from him. But goddamn, he's good. He actually is going to be a rookie DPOY, to be honest with you.
By the way, I just want to point out real quick. I pulled up our mock drafts from the year. You took Ruben Bain first overall, starting October 1st.
Okay, so a month into the NFL season.
Yeah. Caleb Downs can't miss prospect. You just put him back there
No.
And be like, hey, just be good at football, and he'll do it. He will, in fact, do it. You don't even got to coach him. You got to tell him the scheme. You don't have to tell him when to go on or off the field. Just make sure that there's only 10 other players on there with him. Mike, podcaster's favorite player. Now, if you asked me to define this, I defined it as the general podcaster discourse's favorite player.
Oh, I thought it was me.
I was about to say, however, if you interpreted it as your favorite player, I get it. And go for it.
I thought it was me, and also I broke the rules once again. I broke it down into like 3 different categories.
Well, you only get to pick 2 of them. You gotta leave one of the categories off.
Nope,
that's the rule.
Nope, I'm gonna rapid fire through them, and I'm gonna ignore you. So first up, I have my homer favorite, which is obviously Jeremiah Love. I think he is right up there with the Bijan and Barkleys. The Bijan and Barkleys, who people go, I don't care what running back value is. That guy's a top 10 to 5 pick.
If this was a gun in rapid fire mode, I would have gotten out of the way of the bullets.
All right, well, you're an asshole. And number 2, if I go with my non-biased first-rounder guy, it's Caleb Downs. Like you just said, he can do it all. He's great. He's got above the shoulders. Before the snap, he knows what you're doing. He's going to make you look goofy. And then if I go outside of the first round, then I go to day 2. I've talked about him enough. Jacoby Lane, out of USC. Watch his highlight tape. He's a dude. The wide receiver, by the way, for people who don't know.
It's Jacoby Lane, not Jalen Lane, right? Jalen Lane's the one Washington took last year.
Jalen Lane's the one who takes punts for you. Yeah.
Got it. So I went with the general podcasting discourse, like I said. And I'm going Dylan Thieneman.
Love him.
Simple reason why, Mike. White safety. Podcasters love them some white safeties.
Yeah. He ruined Penn State. He picked them off when they're in overtime when they were trying to take the lead or tie the game. I can't remember, and ended the game with that interception. He ruined Drew Aller, Penn State, James Franklin, all of them. He fucking destroyed them with that interception.
You know, if he hadn't intercepted that, Drew Aller be the number 1 overall pick in the draft this year. Mike, the most underrated player in this our NFL draft in the year of our Lord 2026.
Shit, I forgot to write that one down.
All right, Mike doesn't have one for this, so I'll give you my most underrated.
You go
player.
first, and I'll have one when you're done.
A guy I've talked about intermittently on this podcast, but a little guy by the name of Bryce Lance. Bryce Lance, out of North Dakota State University, brother of Trey Lance. Big-ass wide receiver, athletic. I don't care that it didn't work out before. I will, in fact, let myself get hurt again by picking a member of the Lance family to be a breakout star of this draft. This guy's going to go to San Francisco.
Wow.
This guy's going to go to Seattle. This guy's going to go to Los Angeles. I'm basically saying this guy's going to go to some team in the NFC West. And he is immediately going to have success because he is a big body, he's an athlete, and he didn't have the good enough competition to show how good he's going to be.
Adam loves the FCS, is what he just told you. Those are his favorite players.
Well, at least they're competitive, unlike that dumbass Mac you love.
The Mac is in the FCS. Oh, no, they're not. They're group of 6.
Mike, college football expert, can't even tell you what the Mac is.
Yep. Watch out with my big brain. All right, you coming back to me for most underrated? Because I have one now.
Well, I wasn't going to go to anyone else, so yeah.
All right. Malachi Lawrence at UCF.
It surprised me so much that you did not say lemon at the end of Malachi. That was crazy.
Malachi Lawrence at UCF, 6'4", 250, edge rusher. He could be a hell of an edge rusher. He has great size, great athleticism, and he's got that he has this lengthy body. Thick but lengthy, and he makes him bendy. You know? So he attacks tackles. He bends into a full serpentine. No, I'm just kidding. But it makes him bendy, and which sounds like a dumb thing that I'm saying, but it is a thing that NFL scouts look at, and gives them the ability to beat defenders. There's a couple, I can't remember the other guy's name, but there's a couple UCF edge rushers here who people should make note of. Most notably, though, is the Malachi Lawrence.
If you guys listen to the audio version of this podcast, you should tune in for the video version of this podcast for Mike pantomiming the way that Malachi Lawrence is going to sack the quarterback. Looks like he's dancing in slow motion. You're like a wavy inflatable tube man out there.
Yeah.
Mike, what is the least discussed position in this year's draft? What position are we just not talking about enough?
I'm on fleek with this one. I knew immediately when I saw that this is what you put on the rundown. and it's a position that needs more goddamn respect at him. It's linebacker. Not these, like I said, all these people we've been talking about, these like just stand up, I'm a linebacker. No, you're an edge rusher. The only thing you can do good is just run downfield and try to get to the quarterback. That's all you do. I'm talking about true linebackers. So when you look at like people who are labeled linebackers in this draft class, everybody's talking about David Bailey, Arvell Reese, and then Sonny Styles is the one like somewhat true linebacker people are giving a lot of talk about, but that's because he had a ridiculous combine or like, whoa, and his name's Sonny. That's pretty cool. We're not sitting here. We're not talking about all these good shoot middle linebackers, hold down the middle of the field. C.J. Allen out of Georgia, Anthony Hill Jr. out of Texas, Jeremiah Trotter held down the middle of the field in a phenomenal Mizzou defense. We're not talking about these guys. And it is a goddamn travesty because you want to know what? I understand that middle linebacker is that position where it isn't considered the most valuable position. Fair to say?
Not a premium position.
Not a premium position, if you will. But you know what? Teams don't give a shit. Teams, fans of teams, pundits, whatever, don't give a shit about the middle linebacker until they don't have a good one. And then every time the team they're facing runs inside, gets past the defensive line, and then takes off for another 10 yards, then they notice it. When they have a key third down they need to stop, and a team goes to their tight end for 9, they notice it. And yet we're sitting here. We're glazing David Bailey and Arvell Reese, who are not actually linebackers. We're glazing Sonny Styles, who's a good linebacker. But at the end of the day, people are just baffled by his vertical or whatever. We're not talking about Jacob Rodriguez, who I get it. He's a little undersized at 231 pounds. But when you watch the tape and when you look at things, he may have been the best like true linebacker in college football last year. And he's a dude who I will go 10 toes down, full chest, and tell you will be a starting linebacker at the good old-fashioned, forgotten about Mike linebacker position for years to go. I'm passionate about this, Adam.
How did I not go with linebacker as podcaster's favorite player?
I don't know.
Well, you guys, you heard it here first. Mike is going to give an A+ grade to anyone who drafts Anthony Hill Jr. in the first.
Or Jacob Rodriguez.
Yeah, I gave it to tight end as the position that we are not talking about, or that people are just
That's
not talking
fair.
about.
Yeah.
We all just kind of decided it was Kenyon Sadiq and then moved on with our lives, but, like, are you really sure it's Kenyon Sadiq?
I think it is Kenyon Sadiq as far as the first one, but I think it's disrespectful to act like Eli Stovers, Eli Raridan, Max Clare, Michael Trigg are dudes who you should just ignore. So I do agree with that.
I low-key think that there's a chance that Max Clare is just the best tight end in this draft, and he's, like, going to go late day 2. And Kenyon Sadiq, we just went, yeah, you know, he's like Sam Laporta, so he's going to be good in the NFL, and we just moved on from there.
Dude, I love that take. I love the Max Clare love. I want you to stand on that. I want you to stand on it.
All right. Mike's big on toes and standing today.
Yeah.
Mike, our final superlative that we have to hand out here. The most likely to be overdrafted. This will go to the player who is, if I can define this real quick, it's going to go to the player that is most likely to be overdrafted.
Okay.
So, Mike, who do you have as the most likely player to be overdrafted in this, our 2026 NFL draft?
This is in. I don't do dip anymore, so tapping it wasn't necessary. But still, hot take coming. Carnell Tate. This dude's going top 15, worst case scenario, and I don't see it. 6'5", 6'3", 195. I disagree with most of the hawk hair people, aka Mel Kiper, etc., who say that like his floor is a high.
Can I pause you for a second? Just because people are going to understand what you mean by hawk hair. You don't mean that he has hair in the fashion of a hawk. You mean that his hair, in fact, looks like
hairline.
A hawk mid-flight.
He has the hawk hairline. I'm sorry.
He has the hairline that if it came to life as any kind of animal, it would come to life as a hawk.
Yes, and it would fly off his head, and it would go, Shadar! Shadar! they're all saying, oh, Floor is a high-level wide receiver too. I disagree. I think his floor is a wide receiver 3, and here's the hot take. I think worst-case scenario, he's Mac Hollins.
And Mac Hollins had a good career, you know?
Yeah, depending on the thing. He is, well, Mac Hollins is also 6'4", and probably has, I think if I'm remembering correctly, about 20 pounds on him, and he can't catch a goddamn contested pass to save his life. So I don't know if Carl Tate's gonna do it. I break it down to like this dude. What's the word I'm looking for? I profile him as he's going to become.
It's just like a photo of him in the airport holding an Atlanta Falcons shirt.
Who'd you look up? Mac Hollins?
Mac Hollins.
Kirk Cousins' favorite receiver. Has
he ever played for the Atlanta Falcons? Yeah, okay. He played there for 1 year.
Yeah, it was the year they were team talent alone.
Oh, yeah. You forget about those guys, you know? You just get so focused on Nate Landman.
So, like, I just can't escape the fact that I see him as, if not Mac Hollins, wide receiver 3, coverage dependent, where they forgot about the other 2 better receivers on the team, and he's going to get open. I can't break out about it. You know what? He played like 80-something% of his snaps wide. You know who else played a massive majority of their snaps wide in college? Mac Hollins. And I think that's the floor. And if you're going to tell me that I have the chance to get a Mac Hollins, I'm not taking him in the top 15 like everybody's mocking him. I don't get it. I understand that Ohio State is some people would argue LSU. I think they're off base. Ohio State is 100% wide receiver U right now. Emeka Egbuka in a weak wide receiver class broke out to be a very good wide receiver prior to injury and was great. And so people are like, well, Cardinal Tate's the next guy who wore the Buckeye uniform and the helmet with all the stickers, so he's got to be great. No, he's not. If you want to push me in front of a bonfire and tell me to make a pick, I'll say either Malachi Lemon or Denzel Boston are actually the best wide receiver in this class. And if you said, to be totally honest with you, I can't put, once again, 10 toes on the ground, chest out, and say that any of the wide receivers in this class, I'm extremely confident are guaranteed to be a wideout 1. But I can definitely tell you right now that the floor on Cardinal Tate is way lower than most people are expecting, and I look forward to taking my victory lap.
My player.
Okay, you were going to say something responding to that, and you were just like, yeah, my player.
Listen, Mike, you just went 8 minutes on Cardinal Tate. I don't know what I can add to that. You kind of nailed it all.
8 minutes.
My
that was
input
not 8
was,
minutes.
It was 8 minutes.
Sorry.
I'll time it, and I'll send you the time code.
Also, I'm going to throw in there next, since this has already gone long, go look at his game against Miami, against a good secondary in that bowl game when they got eliminated. 3 catches on 8 targets for 37 yards, no touchdowns.
Yeah, but Jeremiah Smith was also bad in that game.
Go look at that. It doesn't matter. Yeah, so if Jeremiah Smith was bad in that game, it makes sense that Cardinal Tate was terrible in that game because Jeremiah Smith is 3 times the receiver.
So you would take, if you right now someone offered you a trade, Jeremiah Smith for 3 Mac Hollins, which one would you take?
I would take Jeremiah Smith. I wouldn't even think twice about it.
Think about all those Mac Hollins though, not wearing shoes, and heart and soul of the team.
Not wearing shoes. Yeah.
My player.
Okay.
I've already mentioned it. We don't really need to talk about this a lot. Fernando Mendoza. He's guaranteed to go number 1 overall, which means he is the most likely to be overdrafted, just by the pure numbers there. And what are the chances that he is going to be in the annals of great number 1 overall QBs? Like, even if he's
hard on this.
Even if he's like decent for 2 NFL teams, you're still going to be like, all right, number 1 was probably an overdraft. It's like Scoot Henderson.
First of all,
Scoot Henderson's like a good 7th man now, or like maybe like a passable 6th man, but he went number 2 in the draft, so he looks like shit.
First of all, so many things I want to say. 1, don't compare the NBA draft to the NFL draft. It's not even
You're
close.
right, because after 5 picks, the NBA draft doesn't matter anymore, and the NFL has like 3 full rounds before it doesn't matter.
Exactly. Number 2, when you factor in the value at the QB, I understand why him being mocked and considered where he is. And I think you know that because you're a positional value guy. You know
Right,
that.
but that means by the strictest definition of who's likely to be or who's most likely to be overdrafted, the guy guaranteed to go number 1 has to factor into that somehow.
Yeah, I mean, I've definitely cooled off on Mendoza, but I don't think I have. Well, I was gonna say I haven't cooled off as much as you have, but you were never hot on him. You've hated him since the day he was born.
I was never
So
hot on
it's a
Mendoza.
little bit different. You saw the news. You were like, Doug and, I don't know, Sharice Mendoza give birth to Fernando, and you were like, that guy's never going to be a good NFL QB.
Nope.
I also love that he
Kirk
said he's going to
Cousins.
be a decent QB for 2 NFL teams, so you're already betting that, like, Raiders aren't picking up that 5th-year option.
It's not like
fucking out of here.
Couldn't you see like an Alex Smith situation like suddenly the Raiders get a better player behind him on a second contract and they flip him to another team where he plays like 8 seasons for and is good?
Dude, I don't know about that because the Raiders aren't run well, and
Now they got Tom Brady.
I don't know. I yeah, he's too busy. He's too busy working on his pregame or his what he's gonna say during the game. But like it would be rough for Mendoza. I shouldn't say it would be. It will be rough for him going to L.A. Doesn't have a great offensive line. I mean, he has Ashton Genty. That's great, but best case scenario, you're handing off to Ashton Genty to run between the ass cheeks of his guard and not go anywhere. What's the best, like, who's the best wide receiver in LA right now?
Their tight end. It's their best wide receiver.
Oh, it's Brock Bowers.
Yeah.
And the sad part is that the second best pass catcher might be Michael Mayer, who never gets targeted because he's not Brock Bowers.
Well, because he's also not in the game.
Yeah, exactly. So Mendoza will be going into a tough situation. I still don't, I would say, entirely overdrafted. To be fair, his stock is heavily boosted by the value of the QB. So if you want to put a gun to my head, I would probably say, like, top 10 player. I really don't honestly think he should go number 1. I have probably 9 players I can say are better overall football players at their positions in this draft. So I'm kind of in the middle ground if I agree with you, and I think you're a moron.
If in any other year he would not have gone number 1, like the last draft you can say he had a chance to go number 1 is the Bryce Young draft, then by definition he's overdrafted.
The last year prior to last year's draft, which was the Cam Ward draft going number 1, the last year he would have probably been the top QB off the board, would have been the Kenny Pickett draft.
Yeah. So I think that there's a lot of cases to be made that Fernando Mendoza is going to be overdrafted, and we'll see if he lives up to the number 1 moniker after that. But Mike, that's all we got from our segments, which means we only have one last thing to do, Mike. We got to close out the 2026 year with the game Prospect Wordle.
I don't know why I did the DX thing, but we're going with
the
it.
DX thing either. Mike, Prospect Wordle is a little game we play around these parts where you have 6 opportunities to guess a prospect that I have chosen ahead of time. Before each of those guesses, you receive a hint. Those hints in order: height and weight, presented draft day, class or times transferred, position, conference, and finally, their team. Mike, this will be your final Prospect Wordle of 2026. On Monday, you'll have your first Prospect Wordle of 2027 before we backseat the segment for a little bit.
I can't wait. Oh, I forgot. I had an honorary superlative.
I don't care. We're out of time.
Okay. All right.
So, Mike, are you ready for the
gonna
final
ask-
edition of Prospect Wordle for the 2026 NFL Draft? He's chugging liquid death.
Let's go. I'm hydrated
Mike,
now. Let's do it.
This player is 6'4", 325 pounds.
Jesus Christ, that's a big bitch. I'm going to guess he's a tackle. I'm going to say Max Chor.
Even if you got that right, I wouldn't
pronounce
give
that
you
right?
credit for however the fuck you said that, but no, that's wrong.
Chor or something like that. The dude out of Arizona State. Just give it to me.
It's the wrong player still. It's still the wrong player.
Right, but still give it to me.
This player is 6'4", 325 pounds, and is currently projected to be a day 2 draft pick. day 2, which means he's between the 33rd and 101st pick in the draft, according to PFF's big board.
I'm still stuck on the tackle thing. Caleb Lomu out of Utah?
No. 6'4", 325, day 2 pick. Mike, do you want to know this player's class or number of times transferred?
In today's college football, it's always numbers of times transferred.
0 transfers. 0 transfers for this player.
You're going to get to his position. I'm going to be mad because I was going down the wrong alley, but we'll go ahead and say Jennings Dunker.
No, it's going to be really funny. It's going to be really funny when I tell you this guy's position, you find out he plays wide receiver. 6'4", 325. Day 2 pick with 0 transfers. Mike, this player is an interior defensive lineman.
Oh, you're an asshole. That was my other thought, is that he could be that.
So you heard 325 and you thought offensive lineman or interior defensive lineman?
Yeah, those were the two. And
no consideration for strong
I just know which way to
safety.
go. But I just thought you love
Kicker?
offensive
Maybe a
linemen.
kicker?
I was like, oh, Adam loves offensive linemen. He is a white podcaster.
You gonna give me your guess there, Mike?
Is it my boy?
The HW Regan?
Is it Lee Hunter? Is it Lee Hunter?
No.
Fuck.
Where did Lee Hunter?
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
I remember that. Okay. Yeah.
6'4", 325. Day 2, 0 transfers. Interior defensive lineman. Mike, this player played in the Big 12. The Big 12.
The biggest of 12s?
The biggest of 12s. The biggest of 12s.
The biggest
the
of
largest
12s,
12.
Is it so big? This 12 is so big. Oh, that's tough. I don't have a lot of defensive.
So into the microphone.
I did on that one because I'm stressing because I don't have a lot of interior defensive linemen from the Big 12 that are popping out. Dominic Orange?
Dominic Orange is correct.
Yeah.
The big citrus himself, Mike, you have hit Prospect Wordle in 5 guesses. Congratulations. On completing another year
How
of
many
Prospect
years
Wordle.
of college has he played?
He's a senior.
Okay, I thought he would have just followed whatever his name is, Campbell, to Penn State. But all right.
Well, Mike, that's all we got there. I'm going to hit our plugs real quick, and then you want to do 5 minutes on Mania. So,
If we have time. If not, we can get out of here.
people can leave after that. I just wanted to make sure that we get the podcast into a certain time, and then if people want to listen to Mania, they can or they cannot.
That's fine. You're just not going to let me give my extra superlative. That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm not.
I'm gonna give it next pod whether you want it or not.
Can you stop talking so I can do the goddamn plugs?
All right, fine.
You can follow us on our socials. They're in the show notes as well as in the end screen that comes up at the end of the video podcast here. You can check out all of our work on townalone.com, where we most recently had our WrestleMania predictions for the final wrestling event of the year in Mike and I's year-long predictions contest that you'll have to tune in to see who won, although Mike has given it away a little bit there on the video podcast.
It was close, though. You
if
did
you're
make
listening to
a crazy comeback the last couple months.
If you're listening to the audio version of this, first off, if you're on Spotify, please be sure you follow the show. Like it, rate it, whatever you want to do. Spotify continues to yell at me that we do not have as much followers as they would expect out of a show our size. If you want to see the video version of this podcast, which includes cutting between many camera angles, as Mike learned as he edited the last 2 podcasts, you can check us out on YouTube at Talent Alone Podcast. And if you just like what we do personality-wise, check us out on Talent Alone Stream, where we play video games. With that, Mike, let's do the shout-out now, and then we'll do Mania. So, and just to mention it one more time, we're live on the podcast channel that's at Talent Alone Podcast. Thursday for the NFL Draft, we'll be doing a watch-along, a drink-along, an enjoy-along with Mike, who is a draft sicko, and me, who thinks they should probably get rid of the draft. So it'll be a good time. But Mike,
Adam, who after 15 picks, he's like, none of these players even matter.
Yeah, these guys are all going to suck. Who fucking cares? Mike, as with the last shout-out of the 2026 NFL Draft season, would you like to give a shout-out to a player whose name you think I can't pronounce?
Oh, that's easy. That is easy. We're going to go with the only one. The original tribal chief, Olaya Vavega Ione.
That is exactly who I was looking at. If you came here for football, get the fuck out of here. Otherwise, stick around and hear Mike's 5-minute thoughts on Roman Reigns versus CM Punk.
WrestleMania was not night one was kind of so bad. It was. Do you remember when we did number 2 contenders for a short period of time? A little old podcast before we started Title One.
I do, in fact, remember that. Yes.
Yeah, and do you remember how sometimes you were like, "My God, you were so negative on WWE. You need to chill out."
Yeah.
After night 1 of WrestleMania, I was like that levels of angry and disgusted at what we got. Because it wasn't great. Matches were all really short. Liv Morgan versus Stephanie Vaquer for the Women's World Heavyweight title set a record for the shortest women's title match in like the last 10 years. Whoever booked the main event against Orton and Cody, which according to reports was it was Bobby Roode and someone else. They did a terrible job, and it was a wet fart for the end of that night. And it was not fun, and so I was very negative. But still, I love professional wrestling, so I watched night 2, and night 2 was definitely better, which is good, but also a little ominous. I should say ominous, or like a little like worrisome that WWE might be thinking that like, all right, WrestleMania 1 was whatever, it doesn't even matter, and then WrestleMania night 2 matters. So that's a worrisome, but night 2 was good. We started out with Obafemi and Brock Lesnar, which Brock Lesnar obviously has a lot of controversy around him that should be noted and understood. I mean, we don't know. I mean, the court documents just say WWE superstar and former UFC champion who Vince McMahon wanted to resign. That doesn't really, based on the timeline, not many people it could fit, but it might be him. But still, they had a good match. It was a quick match. I think it was like, what, you texted me the screenshot of the time. What was it, 4:25? Something like that?
Yeah. Yeah, 4 minutes, 25 seconds.
4:25. But it was still good. There was nowhere near as many like constant finisher moves as I thought, so I was impressed by that. Brock only hit one F5. Obafemi kicked out, popped up, hit a very impressive powerbomb for the win. Afterwards, Brock Lesnar left his gloves and his boots in the ring, seemingly retired. It was emotional. Gave a hug to CM Punk, and that was a good way to start the show. If you remove all the outside shit, it was a good way to start the show. I will say, at first I was like, wow, if Lesnar's retiring, they didn't give him the big send off, and then I thought about the outside issues, and I was like, yeah, they didn't give him a big send off. That makes sense. Mm-hmm. And then they did the 6-man ladder match for the Intercontinental title, which Penta won. I was right on that. And it was a very good match. JD McDonough gets the award for craziest bump of the night when he took a Canadian destroyer. They had there was a ladder set up, obviously, in the middle of the ring, and there was a ladder horizontal on like the turnbuckle and then like wedged into the other ladder. And he took a Mexican destroyer, since Penta did it, it's a Mexican destroyer, onto that ladder, and it was fucking wicked. And Michael Cole actually had the call where he said JD McDonough is dead.
Was he?
He wasn't. He's still alive,
okay,
according to current reports. But that match was a lot of fun, and those were the two matches that were on the simulcast for free on ESPN, so I get why they did that. From that point on, like the show was it was kind of what it was. Jade and Rhea didn't get a lot of time, but they had a solid match. Rhea won. We got another like extremely painfully cringy segment from John Cena announcing the attendance for that night.
Yeah, I saw this segment. It was a tough hang.
Yeah, it was a tough hang. And I also messaged you about the segment they did on night 1 where he came out and announced it, and then Bianca Belair came out randomly. She's been gone for months, so people were like, oh my God, Bianca Belair's back. And just for her to be like, I'm not back, I'm pregnant.
Yeah.
Which was weird. But that wasn't even the part that bothered me. The part that bothered me was like the typical Cena disingenuous, cringy, obnoxious WWE John Cena, who was like, "Thank you for letting our family share that moment with your family." And I feel like he should have been arrested because it was just weird and uncomfortable. But
Arrested
still.
for weird.
Anyway,
I'm pretty sure that's what Malachi who was it? Branch? I think he just got arrested.
Zachariah
Branch
Branch
got arrested for
Zachariah
weird.
Branch. Yeah. But after that, we got to the main event. I mean, I didn't mention like Demon Finn Balor. There are matches that between the two, but they're like I said, last WrestleMania was just like meh, whatever. But the main event of night 2, CM Punk versus Roman Reigns, that was so goddamn good. Like that was pro wrestling. Dave Meltzer has never given Roman Reigns a 5-star match, and I don't consider Dave Meltzer to be like the be-all end-all of professional wrestling opinions and his star ratings. Mm-hmm. If the Observer comes out this week and he doesn't give that 5 stars, like I will have zero. I will not have any respect for him. I will not take any of his wrestling opinions seriously because that match was just. Say what you want about the work rate, like that match was just pure storytelling. It was great. The facial expressions, they took the crowd on the ride, up and down, right from the entrances. Both of those guys. I talk about this sometimes. It would sometimes bug me with not New Japan Kenny Omega, because New Japan Kenny Omega, when it was a pay-per-view show, that dude would come out of the ring and you'd be like, oh fuck, let's go. He would come out to the ramp for his entrance. You'd be like, let's do it. Sometimes in AEW, and in his last match at what was the last pay-per-view that we didn't do predictions on? It was Revolution, right? Or was it something else?
Yeah, maybe it was. It might have actually been Revolution. Anyway,
it was something like that. When he faced MJF, when he faced MJF for the world title, for that match, he came out for his entrance. He was locked in. You could see it. I was like, let's fucking go. But he's not like that. And other guys, like Daniel Bryan, for example, is like one of the best wrestlers to ever do it. But that's like the one critique I would give him is like that intensity, that locked in look, that how you carry yourself, that charisma when you come out and your music hits. And Reigns and Punk just had it, and you could tell. Like one person said, I think it was Wade Keller on his roundtable reviewing the show, said Punk put on the match at Mania that he's always wanted to put on in the main event, and that's what it felt like. Like Punk came out ready to fucking go, and he was cocky, and the match was so good. Between moves, you could just like see between facial expressions and mannerisms, the story they were telling. They had a lot of great spots I really enjoyed, and I mean, Punk had his working boots on. He wanted to make that great. Do you know who won the match?
Yes,
obviously. Yeah. Okay. I didn't want to like spoil it for you because I know you're not a big social media guy anymore, so I don't want to spoil it for you. But yeah, obviously Reigns won the match in a weird way. Even me, who I'm like a diehard Punk fan, so my heart always says like Punk should beat everybody all time. He should pin Jesus in 10 seconds. I still, when he lost, I was like, all right, that was the way to go. Because when you like hear Punk talk about wrestling and the way he's just like, he talks about the history of wrestling, and he came out with a jacket with like, you know, the crown on the back for Harley Race. You just like got it. And so when he lost, it was like, yeah, fuck yeah. Like he was there after all this shit, after him leaving WWE, him doing the podcast and those comments about Roman causing Roman to get booed for years. Mercifully, he did the job. And it was just good shit. Start to finish. It was great. It was probably my favorite WrestleMania main event in a minute. And, yeah, it was great. So that, I guess you could say that saved the weekend. Because other than that, it wasn't great. WWE has some things working against them right now. Obviously, they have their deal with ESPN. So from like a viewership standpoint, that's already paid for. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. They don't give a shit about pay-per-view buys anymore. It's already covered. They just give a shit about ticket sales, which were they were still good and solid for the show, but I mean it's just taking a little bit of a heel turn, because because there was just so many goddamn ads. So many goddamn, it was commercial breaks, like TV length 4-minute commercial breaks, and then they would come back and Michael Cole would plug something else, and it was brutal between matches because of that. Also, just talking about WrestleMania weekend, a more disgusting moment was when Stephanie McMahon got inducted to the Hall of Fame. She referenced her father, and the crowd broke out into a "Thank you, Vince" chant. And I don't love that. Personally, as someone who just the other night, out of curiosity, went back and read the 67-page court document on the Janelle Grant case.
Mm-hmm.
And she also recently just submitted a new 40-page affidavit. And I would just tell people to look into that. And if you still want to say thank you, Vince, then don't listen to this podcast because I don't really care for your opinion. Just kidding. Still listen, like, and all that. But I still don't like you. So that wasn't great. And they also banned pulled the press credentials of an ESPN guy, Andreas Hale, who you can say why they did it, why not. He was the guy who, when they first linked up with, am I going too long? Do you want me to cut this?
Oh, yeah, you're absolutely going too long. That's fine. Finish this thought.
Oh, okay. I was just going to say, like, he was the guy who, when their very first pay-per-view, after they signed the ESPN deal, he did just like an honest, unbiased grade of the show, gave it a C, and there was a whole bunch of reports that WWE was not happy about that, and they had him stop doing that. And then back on April 8th, to be specific, he reported on that Janelle Grant, that new 40-page affidavit I mentioned, and then come WrestleMania weekend, he sent out the tweet saying, hey, my press credentials have been pulled. I'm not going to be allowed at the event. I don't know why. ESPN doesn't know why. That's not a good look. That is a massive heel look. That is not good.
Yeah, not great.
Terrible. R-Truth did retweet him, or reply, or either replied or retweeted and said it's because you're a bitch ass ninja emoji. I don't know what that means. Well, I do, but so that was interesting. But yeah, so there's just some bad publicity with WWE right now. So it took away from the show a little bit for me, a lot of it actually. But luckily, that, like I said, that main event was just so great. It was a main event that was, like I said to you, it was the kind of shit that makes me romantic about professional wrestling. What Punk and Reigns put on, it was just the shit. They got it. They understand it. And when it got done, I said to myself, like, God damn. I wish I still did the Talent Alone Pro Wrestling podcast.
Yeah.
Because I would just like to talk about this for a while and see what happens on Raw tonight and talk about it. And so we'll see if I ever get motivated to do it again. I'm not promising anything because I probably won't, because most things I don't promise. Or I do promise and I don't deliver. So I will say that. But question?
Nope. Just about ready to wrap up if you are there, brother.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I didn't mean to go so long.
You're fine.
I said 5 minutes. How long did I actually go?
It's been about 12 minutes.
Oh, Jesus. Cut this whole thing from the pod. I'm sorry.
All right, buddy. Well, appreciate your passion for wrestling as always. Hopefully we find a good outlet for that in the coming years as we continue to expand the Town Alone brand and what it means to the people of the world. We already did all of our shout-outs and plugs and everything, so why don't we end this simply with, do you want to give a shout-out to any wrestlers who were not at WrestleMania 42?
Shout-out to the Iguana, Ilya Dragunov. Oh, wait, there's already an Iguana in AAA that they keep bringing on the shows. Never mind. Damn it.
They already have the
I'm
Iguana.
sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Oh, no, wait. Shout-out to the Sandman who retired this weekend.
Oh, do you really?
Who wrestled against the Invisible Man. He did the J.O.B. Came out with porn star Kendra Lust. I'm sorry. Didn't mean to mispronounce that. No offense.
All right, let's get out of here.